Good morning, friends. It's Terrific Tuesday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope y'all survived that big storm that we all had come through. It is chilly this morning, I'll tell you. There's frost in the pasture. 9 degrees out there. Says it feels like 5. But we didn't get a lot of snow. We got a little dusting yesterday. Mostly rain is what we got here in Alabama. I know a lot of you got much more intense weather. So I hope you all were able to stay warm and didn't have any incidents. But glad to have you all here this morning. And as we're wrapping up January, I can't believe we're almost through January, last week of the month. I thought, well, we better get started on some Valentine's stuff, right? It's never too late to start some Valentine's stuff. So, good morning, Mama Bird. Good morning, Gen X. -20 here. Brr. Mary said we had to dig out yesterday. That's no fun, right? That's no fun. Anyhow, Mary said I had to take the glass out of my front screen door to climb through and dig out. Goodness gracious. Let me turn the comments on over here on YT. I can't remember if I had them turned off. I was watching Ryan Hall a lot this weekend. So, anyhow, today we're going to be doing a Valentine square, and I'm going to be making a tote bag out of these. So, anyhow, they're really cute. I'm using 100% cotton. This is from Hoblob. I love this cotton in the colorway black and true red. So, anyhow, really pretty yarn, but I'm excited to kind of show you guys this square. I first saw this square being made by Passionate Kelsey, and she made a scarf with it. And I went to her video and did a little research to figure out where she was finding the pattern. And I can't remember the lady's name. One of the mods could maybe pin it for us so I can remember. Something crochet. Anyhow, she has a full tutorial over on YT. Creggy's Crochet. Thank you, Gen X. Gen X for the win. I share this information before I go live, and then I inevitably space it out. Danny Lee, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the Go Popular. So the pattern I'm going to do is from Creggy's Crochet, this heart motif, and it's really cute. I'm using a G6, a 4mm hook, because everybody knows Wheeler likes a G6. That's right, like a G6. Anyhow, we're going to make a few of these. Or at least one on the live here this morning, time permitting. And I know you all don't like it when I work on black, so bear with me. We're going to start with the very center heart. It looks like this after you make it. And then we're going to outline it with black to give it that square shape. Then I'm going to use the magical Unikorn magic tote bag, the 19 square tote bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a total of 12 of these squares. We're going to line out 6 across and 6 down, like so, on each side. So each side will have 6 and 6. Then for the sides, I am doing a solid black square, and I've already started sewing these together. We need 9 of these. So we're going to have 12 and, is that right? 3 and 3. Oh, maybe I only need 2. 2, we'll have 2 like this. I'm thinking out loud here, y'all. 3 on the bottom and then 2 up the side. So I guess I have enough of the black. So we need 12 of the hearts, 6 for each side, and then we needed black ones, which I made these solid. So, well, that's a good news. I thought I needed to make more of these, and actually I don't. How about that? I love it when a plan comes together. So anyhow, you can kind of see the heart motifs that I've made here, but we're going to make one of these from the jump and get that going. Hey, Jan, good morning. Welcome in. Shauna, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Glad that you're here this morning. My mom is in the house. Mom, it's 9 degrees here. A balmy 9 degrees. How about that? Says it feels like 5. We've got frost in the pasture. Kathy, good morning. Welcome in. Allie, good morning. Sassy PJ, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with our red. I love this cotton from Hoblob. Again, I'm using a G6 hook. So this yarn calls for a bigger hook. However, what I'm doing is I've sized down my hook because I want these squares to be a little more rigid and stable for my market bag. Now, I might line this bag. I was thinking I might be able to find some cute, like, Valentine cotton to maybe line it or something. Okay, so here we go. Are y'all ready to start a heart? So here's what we're going to do. Let me talk through this real quick. Okay, this looks more complicated than it is. I promise. Stick with me here, and you're going to see it's like, oh, wow, that's actually really easy. I'm going to start with a magic ring in the center right here, and then I'm going to put 11 double crochets into that magic ring. Then I'm going to join here at the top, and then we're going to add this second row of stitches, and we're going to do different stitches that give it this look right, like this, okay? So to begin, I'm going to start with a magic ring. Now, you could, of course, start with a chain if you do not like to make the magic ring. How I do the Wheeler magic ring is I get my working yarn, I wrap my yarn, and I pull down a loop so that my loop is crisscrossed. I'm going to hold that crisscross between my middle finger and my thumb with the loop pointing out here to the right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to work into this loop initially. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work up here on my working yarn, and I'm going to wrap my yarn around twice so we have 2 loops for my hook or for my double crochet. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down my hook, and now I'm going to work through that ring and also under the tail. And I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. Then I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So that is our first standing double into our magic ring. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work 10 more double crochets into that magic ring. Now, once again, as a reminder, if you don't like doing the magic ring, there's no rules in crochet. You rebel it up. If you want to do a chain of 3 or a chain of 2 for your center ring, that is totally fine. Sherilyn, good morning. Mary, thank you so much for sharing the live this morning. We are live this morning both on TikTok and over on YT. This heart pattern that I'm making is, I found this over on YT, and it's by Creggy's Crochet. Creggy's Crochet is this little heart that I'm making, and it's uber cute, I think. Okay, so I need 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Una mas. 11. Kelly, good morning. Dog Mama, welcome in. Good morning. Hope everybody made it through the big snow and ice storm that everybody had, and I hope everybody's staying warm. After you get your 11 double crochets, I'm going to join with a slip stitch right here to my very first stitch. Okay. And then I'm going to just close up my magic ring, give it a little tug. We'll come back and we're going to weave in this tail when I get done with the heart. Okay. So there is the very beginning of our little heart. Once again, if you're just joining on, this is what we're making. We're making a little heart that we're going to turn into a square that we're going to use in a market tote. Okay, so we have our 11. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working more stitches around to give this a heart shape. So stitch number 1, I'm going to start in that very same stitch where I joined, and I'm going to do a single crochet. Easy peasy. Okay, now into that very same stitch, I'm going to work a double crochet. So this that we've just created is the very tippy top of our heart right here. These 2 stitches that you can see. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work some treble crochets. So we're going to get this nice and tall, and we're going to put 6 treble crochets right into the next stitch like that. This yarn I'm using is from Hoblov. It's called I Love This Cotton, 100% cotton. And I'm using a size G6 hook. Did y'all see what I did there? I said I'm going to make a treble, and then I made a double. Goodness. It's almost like a Monday over here. But this colorway I'm using is called True Red and Black. True Red and Black from Hoblob. And I'm using a G6 hook. So I'm sizing my hook a little smaller to make this a little tighter square for our tote bag, just so it doesn't have as much holes. Okay, so here we go. This is number 4 treble. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more. Again, we're working right into that same stitch. Did it again. My hand doesn't like to make trebles. Y'all feel like that some days? I'm like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to be making a treble, but I don't want to make a treble there. My hand says, make a double, sister. No, no, you're going to make a treble. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we're going to work into the next stitch and we're going to do 3 treble crochets. Sassy, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hope everybody's staying warm this morning. Okay, so now in our next stitch, we need 2 trebles. Again, this is a pattern by Creggy's Crochet. I kind of modified it a little bit, but essentially the same thing. Okay, so 2 trebles into the next. Now into the next, we're going to get a little smaller. So this is the top of our heart. We're working down towards the point. And so we're going to taper off a little bit. Into the next, we're going to put 2 double crochets. 2 doubles. And then into the next, we're going to put a double crochet. So now the whole side of our heart is made. And now we're going to do the very point of our heart. And so into the very next stitch, we're going to place 3 trebles. Barbara, thank you so much. Good morning, friend. We're going to do a treble crochet. Then we're going to chain 1. And now we're going to put a treble crochet right into that same stitch. So this is the very bottom of our heart. See how it's forming there if I flip it over the right way? Okay, so now we're ready to do the next side of our heart. So we're going to work the opposite way all the way back up to the tippy top in reverse. So you can see here I did a double crochet. So into the next, we need a double crochet. Then we did 2 doubles. So we're going to put 2 doubles into the next stitch. 1 and 2. Now we need 2 trebles into the next. Hannah, good morning. Welcome in. Diesel, no. Stop making all that noise. We're supposed to be having a relaxing morning, buddy. No. Go lay down. Okay. 2 trebles into the next. Now we're almost back up here to the tippy top of our heart. So into the very next stitch here, we need 6 treble crochets. Can you see our little heart forming here? Isn't he the cutest little guy? Oh my gosh, I just love him. I just love him so much. So cute. Yeah, Mom, Diesel is, he really likes it outside, but this morning he was already out barking at the garbage man. So I put the doggy door in. He needs to relax this morning. And he needs to not mess up our morning crochet vibe. So we'll see if he'll go lay down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nobody. We don't want your love this morning. I know you think you need to give us love. Okay, so there are our 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 treble crochets. Now, as we started out, remember we did a double crochet, then we did a single. So I'm going to do that same thing. Now, one of the things I noticed when I was making this, I'm supposed to put my double crochet right into this space. Do you see how that hole's kind of big there? Can you see that big kind of space? What I like to do with this stitch is I actually like to pick up the leg of this stitch of the row below and kind of get it a little more secure to my work. So I'm going to do my double, but before I come up here in the top, I'm going to sneak my hook right here under this stitch. Then I'm going to go into that space. And what that does is it helps to kind of pull that stitch down a little bit and close up the center there of that space so I don't have such a big hole. It's aesthetically more pleasing, right? Then I'm going to put, instead of a single crochet here, I like to do it with a slip stitch. So what we've got to do is we've got to bring this down and get it secured here. So I'm going to go right in the middle and I'm going to do a slip stitch and then I'm going to snip off. Our little heart is complete. Where's my sqaures at? Here we go. Snip, snip. Missy, good morning. Welcome in. Okay, so there is our completed heart, if y'all can see that. Missy said, I love this. How would you make just a plain square to go with kind of a checkerboard? So that is exactly what I'm going to do for the side of my bag that I'm making. I did just a standard granny like this. This is called a solid granny. So you could alternate basically we're going to put these along the side so it'll look like that. So we'll have two different things. These are a little scrunched. Sorry, I need to kind of stretch them out. I didn't block anything. Y'all know I like to rebel it up, so I don't really like to block. But you could alternate. You could do a heart square with a solid, no problem. This works out to be a 5-inch square. This is also a 5-inch square. So both of them are the same size. Okay, so that is how we make the heart. Easy peasy. Now what I need to do is I need to weave in my tails. One of the things that I noticed when I was making this heart, when you do these 6 trebles right here, I kind of get like some Mickey Mouse ears in here. See how there's that little hole? So I don't really like how that looks. So as I weave in my tail, I'm going to show you guys my little trick that I use to kind of get that to close up a little more so that you don't have a big kind of space on your heart. Okay. So I have 2 tails on my back. I have the tail from where we did our magic circle. I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to go ahead and weave that in a bunch of times around the center to get that very secure. Now, as I do this, I'm going to be splitting these fibers. So when you look at a strand of yarn, it's usually a twisted strand that is comprised of multiple strands. So what I mean by splitting the fibers, guys, is I'm going to put my needle through the yarn and kind of split those apart as I'm going around the center. That twisted action that the yarn has will help to secure the tail on the inside of my magic ring. Okay, so I'm not just going under the stitches, I'm literally trying to split these apart as I go around. And I'm going to go around like 3 or 4 times. Okay, so just patiently work this around to make this center of your magic ring nice and secure. And before I snip off with the center, like cinching it up, I'm going to come up here and I'm actually going to get this little Mickey Mouse ear here kind of snugged down as well. Okay, so go around a number of times and get that nice and secure as we go. Now, if you were doing a chain of 3 center, you would do the same thing here to make sure the center of your heart is nice and closed up. Okay, so there is how we're going to weave in the center. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to kind of get this little part here secured in as well and just kind of tighten it down a smidge. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything too much, but this way your heart doesn't have a hole. It's going to look kind of smoother there where we did those 6 treble crochets. So I'm going to go around a couple times and kind of get that like flattened in. And that's probably good. Okay, just enough to kind of close that in and pull it a little tight so you don't have this hole here. Again, totally optional. You don't have to do this. Yes, I love this cotton from Hoblob. This is in the color True Red and Black. True Red and Black. We're making heart squares this morning for a market tote. Tomorrow, we're going to be sewing together the squares for the bag. Okay. Now, also we have our tail where we ended here. I'm going to do the same thing. This is already knotted and secured here, but I'm going to use this tail while we have the opportunity to kind of close in that little gap as well. Okay. So take as much time, do as much as or little as you want on this. There's no rules or regulation or rhyme or reason. Just however you feel comfortable. Some people, they don't like to do this part at all, and that's totally fine as well. Pop Wheeler, good morning. Welcome in. JT is here. Good morning. Welcome in, friends. Yvonne, good morning. Welcome in. Hope everybody made it through the big storm that we had come through. It is chilly here this morning. It's 9 degrees. It says it feels like 5. Feels like 5, but we didn't really get a lot of snow or anything. We got a dusting of snow yesterday. Nothing to write home about. It was pretty mellow here. Most of the days while you all were getting ice and rain or and snow and sleet and all that stuff, we just got rain. We just got lots of rain. So it was definitely warmer, but now we've had that cold snap come through that everybody else is experiencing as well. Granny, good morning. ALT, good morning. Welcome in. We're making a little heart granny square this morning, guys. We'll probably do another one when I'm finished with this one. All right. So if you missed the first part, we're going to do another. Do not fear. Okay. After you get that kind of snugged up, snip off. And now our little heart is finished. This is the back of the heart. And here's what it looks like on the front. Super cute little heart. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this little guy and we're going to turn him into a square. Okay, so we're going to actually do 3 rounds of this square. I needed to do 3 rounds in order to get it to a 5-inch size. So I'm going to start up here in the very corner. Now, Creggy's Crochet, she does it a little different. So if you want to watch her tutorial over on YT, she starts kind of in the middle right here. I personally like to start over on the edge where my corner is. That way, when I end, I'll have a place to weave in my tail. So we're going to start here in the corner and we're going to do some double crochets and we're going to work around. When we get down here to where the bottom of the heart is, we're actually going to put treble crochets down here. They're a little longer stitch to help fill in that gap. Okay. And then for our next round, we're just going to do double crochets all the way around. So don't worry if you're just hopping on. We're going to make another one of these and we'll show you how to do it. The pattern I'm following is by Creggy's Crochet over on YT. I first saw this from Passionate Kelsey. Did anybody else watch Passionate Kelsey make her heart scarf? She used this exact pattern, and I saw Kelsey making it, and I thought, oh, that would be perfect for my market tote, you know? It's actually Creggy's. Chaser Cake, good morning. Welcome in. Pam, good morning. Welcome in. Anna, good morning. Thank you so much for the follow. Red Lady, good morning. Yeah, it's definitely cold. I don't know if I'm going to post a video of this, Val. There is a YT tutorial already by Creggy's Crochet. Yes, she has a lot of stained glass squares as well. She's a really cool artist over on YT, so you should definitely check out her channel over there. But this is her heart that I'm making. Okay, so the way I'm going to position this corner of the stitch, when we first started, we did 6 trebles right here. So if you kind of space it apart, you can see we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th one kind of sucks down a little bit from where we did that double crochet. I'm going to start the top or the corner of this square right here between number 5 and number 6. I'm going to start in this stitch right here. And I'm going to start with a standing double crochet. Now, guys, if you can't do a standing double, that's totally fine. Do a chain of 3 here or a chain of 2, however you prefer. That is totally fine as well. The handle is Creggy's Crochet with a C, Creggy's Crochet. Here is how I do my standing double, okay? I put a slip knot on my hook and I hold the tail here between my pointer finger and my thumb. It's very important to keep this tail secure as you're making a standing double. I wrap my yarn around once, so now I have 2 loops on my hook. If you do not secure this tail, what happens is your yarn will spin off and you'll be back down to 1 loop on your hook. So that's why we always secure this. So back to 2 loops. In the top of the stitch right here, I'm going to do my standing double. So I go through the top of that stitch, twist my hand forward, and now I'm going to hold the tail here with Mr. Thumb. Mr. Thumb now takes full responsibility. If he lets go, once again, that will spin and you'll end up with only 1 loop on your hook. Diesel, enough, buddy. Okay, we're going to pull up another loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. Then yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that is our standing double. Very slick. Slick is the black ice y'all have out there, right? Now I'm going to go right back down into that stitch and I'm going to place another double crochet. So this is the corner of our square. Yeah, Diesel, he's in his crate. The crate, he goes in and out of it, but Sparky, the crate has like a bottom plastic tray and it's textured. And what he likes to do is go in there and make noise. So he claws at it and, you know, it's just all around obnoxious like a dog. So yeah, that's what's happening. Hey, sweet Grace. Good morning. Welcome in. Now I'm going to chain two. This is going to be the corner of our square. Into the next stitch, I'm going to place two double crochets. Okay, so that is our corner. So where we're working is right here in the corner. Then what we're going to do is we're going to work into our next stitch and we're going to place two together double crochets. So I'm going to go into the next with my double. So I have 3 loops and then I'm going to pull up a loop and I'm going to hold here. And then I'm going to make another double crochet into this space, or I'm going to start another one. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and holding. Oh, Red Lady, thank you so much for the penguin snow pal. Wasn't that cute, you guys? Thank you so much. Rebel Chick says I need more coffee, right? Here, coffee, coffee, coffee. Brianna, thank you so much for sharing the live. Arlene, good morning. Welcome in. Okay, so now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of those stitches, all 3. Do you have a minute to explain how to begin turning row with a double crochet? Which way you like to do it? Turning row with a double crochet. I'm not sure I follow. I'm not sure I follow the question there. Could you rephrase, or maybe somebody else could help? Manda, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Mama Dukes, we are making a Valentine square this morning for a market tote. Market tote. Yeah, Mo is over there asleep in his bed going, please, Diesel, leave us alone. Does she mean the standing double? We're going to do another standing double on the next round. So stick with me here. We'll do that. Okay. Into the next stitch, we need a double crochet, just one. Now into the very center right here, I'm going to do another double crochet. Now, guys, here's the thing. Do you see how this space is kind of longer? When I do this, I'm not going to do an extended double. I'm sure you could, of course, do that, but I'm just going to make this kind of a long stitch. So I'm going to do a double crochet, work right there into the top of the stitch, but I'm just going to kind of pull this leg of the stitch up a little taller and then do my double crochet. Okay, so we're just kind of making it a smidge taller. Into the next, we need a double crochet. If you want to do an extended double there, you probably could, or even a treble might work. I don't know. I didn't play around with it. I just made it kind of long. Okay, now into the next, we need to go back to our 2 together double crochet. So here we go. Start into the next stitch like a double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, and holding. Now we need to do one more of those. So we're going to put these 2 stitches together. So make like you're doing a second double crochet. Once you have 3 loops on your hook, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. That is a 2 together double crochet. Ruiz, good morning. Thank you so much for the follow. Rebel Chick, thank you so much. This pattern I'm working on today, guys, is by Creggy's Crochet. Yes, Murtis, I hope I said that right. We're going to make another heart. We're going to make another little heart when I'm done here. I'll make hearts till we have to go to work. Tomorrow we're going to sew together the squares and make our tote bag. Okay, so after we get done with that, now we're going to put 2 doubles right here into the next stitch. Okay, so you can kind of see here's one corner of the square. Now we're going to do the next corner of our square over here. We're going to do 2 doubles. Did I do that right? Oh, I should have chained here. Sorry. Rewind. I forgot to do my little chain here. Chain 2, and now we need the other 2 doubles into our next corner here. Okay, so there is a corner and here is a corner. So we're working right in this space right here. Now we're going to start down the side of our square and we're going to get this into a square shape. Okay, so into the next stitch here, I got to remember what I did. Let me look. I think I did a double, single, half double, double. That's exactly what I did. So first stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. Then we're going to get smaller with a half double crochet. We're going to get the smallest with a single crochet. Now into the next, we're going to get back bigger now as we head back down the side of this square. So we need to go in reverse. Here's our half double. Now we're going to do our double crochet. Okay, so in between the corner, we have 5 stitches, double, half double, single, half double, and then back out to a double. Now what we're going to do is instead of doing doubles like we did up here at the corner, this heart tapers in more right here on this side. So we need to work with taller stitches right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 treble crochets into the next stitch right here. So we're going to do 2 trebles, chain 2, and then into the next we're going to put 2 trebles. So wrap our yarn around twice, treble. This is also called a triple. That's the modern way of saying it. I'm an old school kind of gal. I have the old term. So another treble right into that same stitch. Now we're going to chain 2 and now put 2 trebles right back down into that next stitch. So this is another corner of our square. So you can kind of see it taking shape here. See how we've got a corner here? Now we've got a corner there. Okay. Now, as we work down towards the bottom of our square, these are the 2 trebles that we just made. And then working right here, we're going to work in reverse as well. We're going to put a double. We're going to get smaller, double, half double. And the very tippy top, we're going to put that single back out to the half double and then back out to the double. And then we'll be back to that corner. Okay, so here we go into the first. We're going to put a double crochet. We're going to get smaller from that treble. Then we're going to do a half double, smaller still. Now this one's a little tricky to get into. We're going to go right in this stitch right here, and we're going to put a single crochet. So just kind of work that single crochet in there. Now back out. We're going to start getting bigger now as we head back out to this corner. So now we're going to do a half double, bigger still, double crochet. Okay, so there are the 5 stitches for the very base of our heart. Now, as we work here, we're going to start this next corner just like we did this one. So we're going to go back to our 2 trebles into the next stitch. I'm probably missing some comments this morning, y'all. The mods are going to try to pin the questions and help answer the questions. We're doing a lot of stitch talk today as we work on these little Valentine squares. And don't worry if you're just joining, we're going to make another one here. Okay, so 2 trebles, chain 2. Now into the next stitch, we need 2 trebles. So once again, this is the next corner of our square. Okay, so there's a corner, corner here, corner here. Now we just have to fill in this side. So once again, we're going to do double crochet, half double, single, half double, and now double crochet. If you find that you get an extra stitch on one of these sides, guys, it's not going to matter. We're going to even this all out on the next round. So if you happen to get an extra stitch, don't worry about like frogging it back. If you have an extra stitch here, just put an extra double crochet and we'll even this all out on the next round. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to join with a slip stitch to my very first stitch here. And we're going to work our way back over to the corner. So once again, when Creggy makes this square, she will start here in the very center and work her way this way. So as she's ending her tutorial for this round, she's going to be ending up right here. Now, as you guys know, the way that my grams taught me to crochet is we always worked in the corner. So instead of working here in the middle when I started this, this sets me up perfect to start our next round of this square and work all the way back around. This next round is going to be very easy. Okay, so all we're going to do is kind of square this up a little more, and we're trying to get it to a 5-inch size. So instead of having to do all these up and down stitches, we've kind of finished that. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to work in the corner 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Then I'm going to work a double crochet in the top of each of those stitches across. So here's where if you end up with an extra stitch or something, you can even that out. So you can see I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're back to the corner. So as you're doing this, just make sure you have 9 double crochets on each side. So Here is how I do my standing double if I am carrying my yarn, which we're going to continue using this black. Okay. So I pull up my yarn to about the height of a double crochet. I twist my hook towards me and away from me, and I put a little twist here in my yarn. Then I'm going to go through my corner and pull up a loop. So I have 2 loops on my hook. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over. Instinctively, you're going to want to pull through both of these loops. Instead, I'm going to pull through the first loop. Then I kind of put my hook up and twist away from me and pull back around. The reason why is I want to keep both these loops on my hook for my standing double. Then I yarn over and pull through 2. So that is my standing double when I'm carrying my yarn. And I think that was the question that was asked earlier, is how do I do that standing double? So let me rewind this. We're going to do it one more time for those that would like to see how to do that. I know the black is a little hard to see. Hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, so here we go. When I come out of this corner, my yarn is kind of cinched in close to my work. We pull this up to about the height of a double crochet, what I envision it to be. I twist my hook towards me and away from me, and I put a little twist right here in my yarn. Then I go through the corner and pull up a loop. So I have 2 loops on my hook. This twist that we made helps us to manufacture this stitch. Okay. Then I'm going to yarn over. Now, and once again, instinctively, you're going to want to pull through these both loops, and we're not going to. We're going to pull through the first loop only, and we have 2 loops left on our hook. We want to keep both of these loops on our hook. Okay. So I twist my hook, the head of my hook, kind of towards me and away from me, and twist my hook back around so that I keep both those loops on my hook. Then I yarn over and pull through 2. Now we need another double crochet right there. Chain 2, and now 2 more double crochets right back into that space. Christy, did that help answer your question? So double crochet, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. Now we're going to put double crochet in each of the stitches, and I'm going to count this, guys. We want to make sure we have 9 double crochets across the top. And I'm going to show you how to address if you end up with an extra or not enough, okay? We'll have to do some pretend here. Here's 2, 3, 4. Now, once again, with this stitch kind of dips down right here. Do you see how my square is kind of dipping down? You may want to make this stitch a little taller to kind of even that out. So what I mean by that is when I go down through that stitch and pull up a loop, I'll pull it up a little taller than I normally do. So I'm trying to pull it up to the height of my other stitches to help fill in that space. And then we're going to carry on and put the rest of our double crochet. So everything is a double crochet, easy peasy. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say we got out here and you were counting and you said, oh crap, I only have 8 stitches. How many times have we done that in our crocheting? I know I've done it a ton of times. All I'm going to do, guys, is if I have 8, I would pop in another double crochet right here at the edge, and then I make it 9. Okay? So very, very simple. Now, let's say we get out here and we've done 9 stitches, and then all of a sudden you do the same thing. Oh crap, I've got 10. How am I going to do 10? Well, here's what I would do in that situation, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 2 stitches together. So for my double, I yarn over. I'm going to go through the front loop of the first stitch. Then I'm going to twist my hook and I'm going to go under both loops of the next stitch. And I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to go under those 2, and I'm also going to slide it underneath that one. Then I'm going to complete my double crochet. So what it does is it puts those 2 stitches together. Sometimes even what I will do, depending on how large these stitches are, I will actually twist like this under both and pull up this way and pull that through as well to cinch them up so that they're two together. Okay. So those are two of my little tricks, guys. If you find that you don't have the right number of stitches, you don't have to frog all this out. If you're only off by one stitch, you rebel it up, right? We all like a crochet rebel. Rebel it up, put two together or add one in. Easy peasy, just like that. Okay. So here we go. I didn't have any extra stitches. That was for demonstration only. We're going to carry on with our doubles. So we have 9 doubles on the side. Here we are back to the corner, and we're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. Working again along the side, we need 9 double crochets on each of the sides. So at this point, we're just kind of leveling it out, making sure it's even and making sure our counts are accurate. But don't fret if you're a little off. There ain't nobody going to be the wiser. All right. Paige says these would make an adorable doggy blanket. Yes, yes, that would be really cute. So I'm going to make these into a market tote. Y'all know our friend Maggie, Magical Unicorn, who we all love and watch. She has a 19 square tote bag that she makes with sunflower squares. One, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And as I was sitting here this weekend, Maggie was working on her sunflower squares, working on squares for a new tote. And I thought to myself, wouldn't that be cute if instead of sunflowers, I did Valentine squares and made a Valentine bag? So the mods will share Maggie's tote bag pattern. Now, again, hers is sunflowers, which is absolutely gorgeous. But the thing is, with her pattern, you can use any square that you make. So if you have a different square that is one of your favorites, you could, of course, substitute that in for that the square. You don't have to do the sunflowers. There's lots of possibilities here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back to the corner, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Now, once again, working along the sides, we need 9 doubles. So very, very easy to do this square once we get those increases done. Guys, if you're just joining, don't worry. We're going to make another one of these little hearts. Tomorrow, we're going to work on the tote bag again. We're going to work on joining the squares. As you can see, I have a whole pile of them. I worked on these yesterday. I worked on it while it was weathering outside. I was here in my chair doing some crochet chatting and just hanging out and with my crochet friends and making the things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm going to join with a slip stitch to my very first stitch, and I'm going to work myself back into the corner. Okay, so here is how we're looking now. At this point, y'all, what I would recommend, everybody crochets with different tensions, and depending on the yarn you're using, it might come out a little different. Okay, I love this yarn from Hoblob in the colorway True Red and Black. I love this cotton, okay? The yarn calls for a bigger hook. I'm using a G6 this morning because I want this to be kind of a tighter square for the bag. At this point, what I like to do is I will get my little tape measure out and I will measure the size of my square, okay? So as you can see, I'm about at 4.5 inches. I need another ½ inch to get this to a true 5-inch square. So in order to do that, all I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do this on the live, guys. I'm just going to put this to the side because I want to have time to make another heart before I have to go to work. Okay. So all I would do is I would do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and I would work a single crochet all the way around. That's what you see here. So I did a single crochet in all the stitches, and all I was trying to do, guys, is get this square a little bigger to get it to the 5 inches that I needed. Okay, so you'll definitely have to measure your square. If you need to, add a single crochet. Maybe your square is super small if you're using like a 3-weight yarn. That's totally fine too. You might have to do another row of double crochets. So again, as crochet artists, you're going to have to do some improvisation. Is that a word? On these little improvising and get your square to the correct size that you need. Okay. But for me, I'm going to pause right here. I have another full skein of yarn, so I'm not too worried. I'm just going to put, this is all I have left of this yarn. I'm going to put this to the side, and we're going to start another one of these hearts. Okay, because a lot of people have joined on and they want to see how to do this. Friends, if you are new to the channel, welcome in. We're doing a lot of stitch talk today. I'm sorry I've not had time to say hello and greet you individually. If you are new here, my name is April and I am a hobby crocheter. I come live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings, and we do a lot of stitch talk here. Some days we just chat, but today we're doing a lot of stitch talk as I talk through these heart squares that I'm making. Tomorrow we're going to be joining these as um, a little tote bag we're going to make. So I'm going to work on that tomorrow. So we'll have 2 days of Valentine bag. And then we have something else planned for Thursday. And if you are not aware, I am live this morning both on TikTok and on YT. Okay, so we have people watching on both. You can always go back and rewatch the live replays over on YT as you look at my profile. Look for a category that says live. We have shorts, videos, and then live. So every time we're live, that's where you can find all the replays. So this pattern I'm doing today, I first saw done by Passionate Kelsey, who you all know I love. Passionate Kelsey is a big inspiration. She was working on a Valentine scarf and she made this exact square. She used different colored yarns and she used acrylic yarns for hers, but I did a little research and the pattern that Kelsey followed is by Creggy's Crochet. The mods will pin this pattern for you so you can see how that name is spelled, but it's Creggy's Crochet. So we're going to start with a little heart motif like this, motif, I guess I should say. I get a candle votive and a motif mixed up and I call it a motive. And that's totally the wrong word. But we're going to make this little heart. So this is very easy to do. We're going to start in the very center and I'm going to use a magic ring right here. And I'm going to put 11 double crochets into that magic ring. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to use different size stitches as we work around the sides of the heart. And depending on how tall the stitch is or how short the stitch is, that's what's going to give it this little magical heart shape. Okay, so here we go. If you don't like using a magic ring, you could definitely use a chain of 2 or 3 here for your center. Either way, give yourself a long tail so that you'll have room to weave this in. Ashley, I watched like 500 videos of how to do a magic ring and nothing ever clicked for me. So I do the Wheeler magic ring, which I will show you right now. It is different than some of those that are out there, but I will tell you it works for me and it accomplishes the same concept. Okay, so here we go. I have my yarn in my working hand. I wrap my yarn around my hook and I bring down a loop so that it's crisscrossed. I pinch and hold that crisscross between my middle finger and my thumb so that my loop is pointing out here to the right. Now, I'm not going to work into this ring to begin with. I'm going to work up here on my working yarn, and I'm going to wrap my yarn around twice for a standing double. Then I'm going to bring my hook down. Now I'm going to go through that magic ring, under the tail as well. So I'm going to under both loops and I'm going to pull up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook, just like we're going to do a double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now this will give you kind of a longer leg here on the back. So what I'll do is I will kind of pull this guy a little bit and cinch that down a little. But this is my magic ring with my standing double. Now I need a total of 11 double crochets into this magic ring. Very important, as you're doing your magic ring and working around, you want to work not only around this ring, but also you're going to work around this tail. So you'll see me kind of position it, and I'm going to work over both those strands, and we're going to add 10 more double crochets to the very center of this ring. And again, you'll see I'm holding it. Work over that tail. Working over that tail will help you to close and tighten the very center of your magic ring. A lot of people in their tutorials will forget that very important step of working over the tail. Okay, so I'm here to remind you. I'm here to remind you in the morning. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dos mas. Hey, Shan. Good morning. Welcome in. Tammy, good morning. Thank you so much for sharing the live. Laura, good morning. I've picked up crocheting, but you have a little finger. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we have 11 double crochets. Now I'm going to pull the tail. I like to hold my magic ring here in the middle and kind of support it a little bit as I'm closing it. Okay. And I don't close it super tight. I'll come back and close that a little tighter later. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to join with a slip stitch to my very first stitch here, and then I can kind of turn my work a little bit, working from the back. I'll hold this here and I pull. Now, when I do my magic ring, you guys remember I said it has that long leg. Be careful when you're pulling. You don't want to pull that stitch too tight and have it look like kind of cramped up for that first stitch. Okay. You want to make sure that it stays looking like a standing double. Okay. So there is my magic ring with my 11 double crochets. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work some crochet magic, as I like to call it. We're going to alternate our stitches, working around that magic ring to form the shape of this heart. And it's all a big illusion. Um, don't look at me. Good morning. Welcome in. Kat, good morning. Liv, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay, so we ended right here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a single crochet into my first stitch, followed by a double crochet into that same stitch. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put 6 treble crochets into the next stitch right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Other people call this a triple, same thing. Treble, triple, we're using US terms, 6 of them into the same stitch. Then we're going to work 2 trebles, then we're going to get smaller with 2 doubles, double. Then we're going to go back to a half or a treble here in the very tippy top of our square. So working into the first stitch that I just came out of where I joined, I'm going to work a single crochet. Now into that very same stitch, I'm going to work a double crochet. We want this to get a little taller. So this is the very center of our heart. Now we're going to work those mouse ears up and around for our heart. So into the next stitch here, we're going to make 6 treble crochets or triples, however you call it. Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, get back on there. 5 and 6. 6 trebles right into the same stitch. Okay, now we're going to move to the next stitch, and we need the same size stitch as we do the side of our heart. We're going to do 2 more trebles into this next stitch. 1 and 2. Now, as we head down, we're looking at this upside down. Okay, we're looking at it like this. Okay, so we're starting to come down to the point of our heart. And we need to get this a little smaller. Hey, Lynette, good morning. Welcome in. So we need 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Bina and Charlie and My Pendo, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follows. 2 doubles. Now we're going to place 1 double into the next. And we are officially done with the side of our heart. We're going to do the very center now, right here. We're going to make this center a little bigger so that it comes down to the point right here. Okay, so into the next, we're going to place a treble crochet, chain 1, and now we're going to put a treble crochet right back down into that stitch. Okay, so if we turn it over, this is the top of our heart. This is the bottom that we just made. Now we're going to work those stitches in reverse the same way that we came across. So you can see here I did a double. I'm going to do a double right here. So double crochet. Now we're going to do 2 doubles into the same stitch. 1 and 2. Now we've got to get a little bit taller as we head back out to make our little heart ear as you will. Okay, so we're going to do 2 trebles into the next stitch. And then we're going to make the other part of our heart right here. We're going to put 6 trebles right into this next stitch. And this is going to cause this stitch to fan out and give it that little lovely heart shape. The pattern that I'm working on today is by Creggy's Crochet. I may have modified it a little bit. I don't remember. I watched her tutorial on YT, and then I kind of went off and did my own thing. So you can rewatch the live replay of this. We are live this morning, both on TikTok and on YT. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Una más. But look, when you're over on my YT, Wheeler 8 Acres, just look for the category that says live. And that's where you can see all the live replays. We always are live on both platforms. Okay. I do work full time, so I don't have a lot of time to make tutorials as I would if I was a full time crocheter. Okay, so now I'm ready to come right back here to this last stitch. One thing I noticed when I was making these hearts is where I first came out of, right here, it kind of becomes a larger hole, and I don't like the look of that. So I'm going to put a double crochet into this stitch. However, I'm going to take a little detour here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the leg of this stitch right here and incorporate that in. That way, it'll do is it'll help to kind of close in that hole that I see there. So I yarn over, bring my hook down, then I'm going to go through that space and bring up my loop, and then I'm going to make my double crochet. So you can kind of see how that picked up that leg and closed in the space there at the top of our heart. Then I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the very beginning, and I'm going to snip off. Okay. Leave yourself kind of a long tail here as you are snipping off. The reason why is we're going to use this tail, also the middle tail, to close up our hearts and make them a little more aesthetically pleasing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my needle here, my darning needle, and I'm going to weave in the center of our magic ring. It's very important when you do a magic ring that you weave back and forth a whole bunch of times to secure this. The other thing is, and a lot of people are not aware of this, what you need to do is, I call it splitting the fibers. When you look at a strand of yarn, this is a twisted strand of multiple pieces. And so when I say split the fibers, what I'm trying to do as I work through the center is I'm trying to split that yarn apart with my needle. It's hard to see on the live, but you want to split the fibers, and that will help. Splitting this will help to secure the tail as you are weaving through. So I'm going to go around a whole bunch of times, like 3 or 4 times, splitting those fibers and making that center very secure. Now, if you don't trust your magic ring, that's totally fine. You can also make this heart by doing a chain of 2 or a chain of 3. Okay, that's totally acceptable. However you feel comfortable making your heart, it will come out looking just the same. Oh, the deer are out in the pasture, you guys. They've been laying low the last few days with the weather, but I did think I just saw there's 2 of them on camera right now. Over on YT, you can, oh, there's a third. Oh, and a fourth. Oh, that makes my day that the little deer are coming in. It's 11 degrees out there right now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 5 now. Sorry. Total squirrel moment, you all. We do live stream our bird feeders and the deer cam over on YT as well, so you can see those at any time. Okay, after I've gone through a bunch of times, that will secure the center of our heart here. The other thing I like to do is on this mouse ear, heart ear, whatever you call it, do you see how, as I did the 6 trebles right here, it kind of made a little hole there, and I don't like the look of that. So what I like to do is I like to use that tail, and I'm going to weave back and forth right here on one of these little ears to kind of close in that hole so it's not so obvious and big. Again, you don't have to do this. You definitely, try it out, whatever if you don't like doing that, that's totally fine. But I'm just going to bring my yarn up, this tail that I was weaving through, and I'm going to go around these 6 trebles, and I'm just going to kind of tighten this area up a little bit to kind of make it more secure and look a little nicer on the front of my heart. So I'm kind of a little AR, you know. Yeah, there's 5 out there, I think. 5. Of course, we got the household monster here as well, trying to help with our crocheting. Goodness me, oh my! All the critters are out looking for some love this morning. Okay, so after I go through a couple times, then I will be ready to kind of snip this off here. No, 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 that heart is not for you. We've come a long ways with this little guy in my lap. Okay, so you can kind of see how that closed it in a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing with this strand that we finished off with to close in the other side of that little space. Again, you don't have to do this, but you're going to want to secure this tail and weave it in anyhow. This is knotted here. I'm not worried about it coming out. I just want to make it kind of prettier on the front is all I'm trying to do. Yeah, he's precious. Mr. Wheeler says he's precious like a stomach pump. I don't know what that means, but you know, um, he is. He's my sweet boy. We've come a long way with that little guy in the last year. We've come a long way from him sitting on my lap and crocheting, I'll tell you. So once again, I'm just weaving these in, kind of tightening up around the center here of that 6 trebles that we made, if it would cooperate with me. Yeah, our friend Leah hurt her foot. She had to go to the urgent care yesterday. No fun. Y'all be safe out there in the ice and snow, I'll tell you. I know a lot of you have gotten a lot more ice and snow action than we've gotten here. It's just cold here. We got some snow yesterday, but it was just like a dusting. Okay, finger block, right? Pull on your heart. Get your heart into shape. You can do an official block on this if you wish. I don't think there's any point in doing that. I can just finger block it. Finger blocking means when you make a square, right? Here are my solid squares. You just pull on your stitches and you block your stitches into place. Okay. That's what we call finger blocking. A lot of times that is totally sufficient for doing a square. You don't have to do a wet block or anything like that. Okay. So there is our little heart. And I did show how to outline this on the very beginning of the live, y'all. And you can go back and rewatch how we outline the heart over on my YT. There is a live replay because we are live this morning, both on TikTok and over on YT. I do have to go to work. It's 8:28 here, and I need to hop off so I can go to work. But I hope you all have enjoyed the heart tutorial this morning. Again, this is a variation off of Creggy's crochet. You can also find her over on YT. There's a tutorial. You can also watch the live replay of what we have done this morning. Tomorrow, we are going to be joining all these squares that I have made into a market tote. We're going to be using Maggie's tote that she has, and we're going to work on sewing these all together. So if you want, you need 19 squares. Now I'm doing 6 squares on the front and 6 squares on the back that are going to be the hearts. So what we're going to do tomorrow, if you want to tune back in, we're going to line these up 3 by 3. The ants go marching 3 by 3. Hoorah, hoorah. Like this, okay? And we're going to join these 6 squares. Her tote bag also calls for side squares. What I have chosen to do instead of hearts for the sides, I have already made my solid black squares. So the sides of my square tote bag are going to be with the solids. So we're going to join like this with our squares. Okay, so that is what we have on deck for tomorrow. So be sure and come back if you would like to see a demonstration of that. But I hope you all have had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me here on the live this morning. Stay warm, stay inside, do your crocheting. Be careful if you're out walking around. Don't be like our friend Leah who hurt her foot, bless her heart. And we will see you all again tomorrow. Thanks for all the taps, shares, gifts, all the love. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great day. Bye for now.